Hello, third graders. So, we're going to do a little bit of writing today. And we are going to focus, as you know, we've been focusing on opinion writing. And we're going to think about the question about homework. And does homework really help? Now, I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Mrs. Brettle, I can't stand homework. Homework is so boring. Oh, I wish my teacher would stop giving me homework. Or maybe some of you are like, hey, Mrs. Brettle, I like homework. Homework's kind of fun. Or maybe homework's easy for you. Maybe homework's hard for you. Well, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking us to look at, does homework really help? In other words, does homework help you learn more or practice what you're learning better? So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at two articles about homework, because the best thing to do when you're getting started on an opinion piece is to look at the facts. What do we know about homework and whether it works or not? So we're going to take a look at two articles today. I'm going to read them to you. And then we're going to think about what our opinion is and some of the reasons for our opinion. Okay, we're not going to get started on our actual writing today. We're just going to focus on reading those articles carefully and then taking a look at our outline and trying to fill that in so that we're going to be ready to do our writing next time. Okay, all right, so I'm going to do my best to turn this so that you guys can see it really well. This is going to be on your on the Google Slides that I give you. So I want you to definitely go back and read this on your own too, but I will read this to you right now. So, does homework really help? Homework is common in education. People agree that homework helps students. Other people believe homework is not needed. Consider the benefits and troubles of homework. Okay, so now there's two words here that I want to point out to you. Pros and cons. So pros means these are the good things about it, and cons are the bad things about it. So when we look at the pros, that's going to be what are the good things about homework, and the cons are going to be what are the bad things about having homework. Okay? So pros. Assigned homework can help students review lessons from class, apply what they are learning, learn good study habits, practice skills like reading and math facts, spend less time on screens like TV, video games, and phones, show parents what they're learning, practice study skills at home, study where it is comfortable, focus on areas they need to improve on, learn independently, and focus on what is most important. So those are the good parts about homework. Okay, now let's look at what they say about the cons, the bad things about homework. So homework can also cause students to become tired of schoolwork, enjoy learning less, work without teacher support, waste time if they don't have good study skills, waste class time grading homework, have less time to explore other hobbies and interests, practice it wrong if they did not understand the lesson. So in other words, that means that you go home and you didn't really understand what the teacher taught you, but now you have to do your homework and you're practicing it and you're doing it the wrong way. Need help from parents, which some students aren't able to get. Get less sleep at night. Have less downtime. Argue with parents over assignments and feel extra stress. Okay, so I feel like there's some really good reasons for both the pros and the cons. Maybe you feel the same way. And if we take a look at the pictures and read the caption, so here it says, U.S. students have had homework since public schools first began. So that means even when I was a kid in school, we had homework. And then the picture down here at the bottom says, some students have activities like sports, clubs, or lessons after school. They have to start homework later at night. This can cause later bedtimes. So those of you who are involved in sports or activities, some of you have had to go to bed a little bit later than you normally would because you got home after your activity and then you had to start your homework. Okay, so that was kind of a quick and easy list. So it had bullets to really help us understand some of the pros and cons of homework. So you should be thinking about, okay, do I think homework helps, or do I think that homework is a waste of time? Okay, so we're going to take a look at our second article. This one is a little different. It's written as an actual article. Okay, so it's called The Great Homework Debate. All right, so I'm going to read this to you. And again, I know it's a little bit tricky to see, but remember that you're also going to go back and read it again in the Google Slides. All right. Does a heavy backpack mean higher grades? Maybe or maybe not. The topic of homework causes a lot of controversy. Controversy means that people don't always agree with it. So some people are really for homework, some people are against homework. That's what controversy is. Both sides of the debate have strong opinions. Some say there are many benefits from homework. Others argue that students should not be given homework. Research shows that homework can be helpful for students. This happens when teachers assign high-quality homework that doesn't take too long to complete. Some homework assignments can even help raise test scores. Homework is most powerful with older students who have better study skills. In one study, fourth grade students who spent less than an hour per night on homework did better on reading tests. Their classmates who studied longer had lower test scores. Wow, that's interesting, huh? So the kids who had a little bit less homework got better test scores. Huh. In another study, older students who studied more than 90 to 100 minutes per night had lower math and science scores. Research was conducted over 23 years. It showed that the amount of homework time has increased from 2.5 hours a week to almost 4 hours. Experts set a daily homework guideline of 10 minutes per grade level. That means a third grader should study for 30 minutes per night. Reading at home with a parent is the best homework assignment for young students. Homework can be helpful for teachers too. Many teachers have a lot to teach. Homework can help teachers by making the learning day longer. Sometimes teachers give homework on lessons they didn't have time to teach. This can be a problem for students. They have to learn the lessons alone. So many agree that homework should review classroom lessons. At school, students who struggle can help get support with their work. At home, those same students don't always get the help they need. It might take them twice as long to finish their homework. Teachers should assign homework that is challenging but won't discourage the students. Homework can be good and bad. Which side of the homework debate are you on? And if we look at this little infographic, it says time spent on homework. So from 1981, which is when this study started, all the way up until 2004, they're saying that the number of hours of homework has steadily gone up. So when Mrs. Prettle was in elementary school, it looks like I might have had less homework than you. What do you think about that? Okay, so before we move on, I do want to make a distinction. So the homework that we're talking about is during our regular school day when we go to school, during our regular, when things aren't weird and we're not at home doing distance learning. So for example, you go to school usually, and then at the end of the day, I would assign some homework for you, right? And you would have to go home and do it. Sometimes it was math or reading, things like that. So that's the kind of homework we're talking about, because I know that some of you might have seen like, oh, well, they say you should only do 30 minutes of reading or 30 minutes of homework for third graders. And that's true. However, doing our distance learning right now, the times are a little bit higher because it's supposed to sort of make up for the hours that you would normally be in school. So that's the difference. Okay, so let's think about this. So I feel like both of these articles presented some really good reasons why we should have homework and why we shouldn't have homework. And so my first step is I need to make a decision. I need to decide, do I think that homework helps, or do I think that homework is not worth the time that we spend doing it? Okay. So I think a lot about homework. And after reading these articles, I think that homework can help, but I don't think that kids should have too much homework. And I don't think that it should be busy work homework. So I know some of you might be disagreeing with me right now, and that's totally fine. If you want to write about why we shouldn't have homework, perfect. Go for it. Okay? I'm going to do an example with you so you can kind of see my thinking. All right. So in your Google Slides, there is an outline for you to fill out. Okay. Now this outline is designed to help you think through your thoughts before you just start writing. You know, because if we're going to write an opinion piece about this, we really need to kind of organize our thoughts and make sure that we know what we're going to be talking about. Okay, so in writing an opinion, we first of all have to come up with our opinion. Okay, so on yours, so it looks like this. So it says, should students have homework? My opinion is, okay, this is where you're going to write your opinion, okay? Now, I know that with distance learning, kind of everything's on the computer. I'm going to show you how to do it on a piece of paper, and then what I would do is I would type it in on my computer, okay? If you want to do that, you can do that. I know that not all of you have printers, but if you want to do this on a piece of paper and just write it down on a lined piece of paper and then go ahead and type in your answers on your Google Doc, if that's easier, go for it. I know typing is challenging, so this is hard for us, doing this distance learning. Okay, so I said that I think homework is good if it's not too much and if it's quality homework. Okay, so my opinion is homework is good if it's not too much and it's quality. Okay. Okay, so that's my opinion. Now what I need to do is I need to come up with my reasons. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be looking back at my articles and I'm going to think about what in the articles could support my opinion. Okay, so if I say homework is good, I have to find some proof, right? So what I might want to do, and you can actually highlight on the Google Slides document. So on these articles, you can actually use a highlighting tool, okay? I'm just gonna use a regular highlighter for now. Okay, so I wanna come up with some evidence to prove that homework is good. So now if I'm gonna use this article, I would wanna look at the pros, right? Because that told about the good things about homework. All right, so I see that, okay, I like this one. It says practice skills like reading and math facts. And I really like that. So when I assign homework, I really definitely want kids to be practicing their reading and their math facts, especially. Okay? All right, let me see. Okay. I'm gonna come back to this one maybe. This is my favorite one. This is my favorite reason to support, okay? And what I was doing there is I was kind of reading through it really quickly. I was scanning. I wasn't reading every word, but I was kind of scanning it. I'm gonna look back at this one. So, and I remember in this second paragraph it says, research shows that homework can be helpful for students. This happens when teachers assign high quality homework that doesn't take too long to complete. So I'm going to highlight that part because that's kind of like what I said was my reason, right? Or my opinion. Okay. And I'm also going to highlight where it says some homework assignments can even help raise test scores because, we want you to show that you're smarter, right? Okay, and then I'm going to scan along. Oh, this one wouldn't really help me because this one talks a lot about how all this homework is actually making kids not do as well on test scores. Okay. You know what? I might want to say this. Experts set a daily homework guideline of 10 minutes per grade level. This means that a third grader should study for 30 minutes per night. Oh, and I'm going to do this one too. Reading at home with a parent is the best homework assignment for young students. Okay. All right, so I feel like these are going to be my 3 big ones. So let me see if those work with my graphic organizer. Now, don't worry too much about where it says linking words right here. Go down to where it says reasons, all right? So, all right, so I'm going to say homework is good if it's not too much and it's hot and it's quality. So my first reason is practicing reading and math facts is good for homework. So practicing reading and math facts. And boys and girls, for this, we don't have to do complete sentences. We're just adding our information, and we're going to use this graphic organizer to help us with our writing. Okay? All right, my reason number 2. So I'm going back and I'm looking at my articles. Okay, I'm going to say that some homework can help raise test scores. Some homework can help raise test scores. Okay. All right. And then, and then I want to also add that part about you should be doing 10 minutes of homework per grade level. So that means like if I'm in 5th grade, it would be 10 times 5, right? Okay. So, so I'm going to say homework should be 10 minutes per grade level. Okay, sorry, it's kind of messy. It's hard writing sideways. Okay, so I've got homework is good if it's not too much and it's high quality. And some of the reasons are practicing reading and math facts is good for you. Some homework can help raise test scores, and then homework should be 10 minutes per grade level. So I'm going to stop right there because now I've got my opinion and I've got my 3 reasons. And my next step is going to be thinking about some examples and how I can add to that so that when I do my writing, I have even better stuff. Okay? All right, boys and girls, really good job. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and reread those articles. Highlight anything that helps support your opinion, and then I want you to fill out your opinion and your 3 main reasons. Okay? All right, boys and girls, great job. I'll see you next time.